Okay, so on Friday, we talked about word problems and picking out numbers from our word problems. So we're going to look at a word problem today and figure out, because there's a couple words in here that we want to make sure that we look at, some keywords in here that we think about. So, can you see okay with the things in the way? Do you want me to make this?
She can probably see it better than me, but I can see it on my paper.
All right. So our problem says Jennifer texted blank times in January. In February, she texted blank more times than she did in January. What was the total number of texts that Jennifer sent in the 2 months combined? So when it says, what was the total number of texts that Jennifer sent in the 2 months combined, what operation does that mean we're going to use? This word right here. When it says combined, what operation? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? You know what combine means? Yeah, because combine means we're going to put them together. Okay? So that means we're going to be adding our numbers together. But what do you notice about our two numbers? They're not in what? They're not in what form are they not in that we usually add our numbers in? This is called expanded form. This is called word form. We want our numbers to be in standard form, which means we want them to be written as they are. Okay? So what I first want to do is make sure I write my numbers because I need to know what numbers I'm working with. So the first one says 5,849. How do I write 5,849? 5, comma, 8, 4, 9. So I know my first number is 5,849. What about my second number? It says 1,000 plus 200 plus 60 plus 3. What number would that be? 1, comma, 2, 6, 3. So I want to make sure I write my numbers in standard form first, okay? Because I've got to make sure I understand what numbers I'm working with, okay? But pay attention to what the question's saying. It says Jennifer texted blank times in January. So let's look at that part first. She texted blank times in January. So that means I'm going to plug this first number into the blank. So how many times did she text in January? 5,849. Okay. So I know that that's how much she did in January. And then it says in February, she texted blank more times than she did in January. Does that tell me exactly how much she did in February? No. It says she texted that many more times. So is our number going to be bigger or is it going to be smaller? It's going to be bigger, okay? So what am I going to do? So my second number goes in the second blank. What am I going to do to figure out how many she texted in February? Right. So in February, I'm going to take what she texted in January, 5,849, and I'm going to add 1,263 because it tells me that in February, it was blank more times than January. So we don't have an exact number for February yet. So this is what we call a multi-step problem because we're having to do more than just one thing. Okay. So before I can figure out how many she did in the 2 months combined, what do I need to do first? Figure out what? what February was. So I'm going to set it up like standard algorithm. So I'm going to say 5,849 plus 1,263. Okay. Where do I always start? In the one spot. 9 plus 3. What's 9 plus 3? 12. So I have how many ones? 2 ones. And carry the 1, my 110. So now I have 4 plus 6 plus 1, or 40 plus 60 plus 10. What's 40 plus 60? No, 10. 100 plus 10 would be 100. 110. So I'm going to drop my 10. I'm going to carry my 100. Then I move to the 100 spot. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. So I'm going to drop my 100 because it's actually 1,100. Carry my 1. So 1 plus 5 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So 7,112. But I'm not finished because what does this number represent? Only what I did in February. So now I have to figure out how much I did in both months altogether. So how many did they do in January? How many did Jennifer text in January? 5,849 plus, because combine means together, 7,112, because we just figured out how many she was texting in February. So now where do I always start? In the one spot. So 9 plus 2 is 11. So I'm going to drop my 1, carry my 10. What's 4 plus 1? 5 plus 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. And then to my 100 spot, 8 plus 1 is 9. Drop my comma. 7 plus 5 is 12. So because I can't carry anything, yeah, and then I'm going to make my label and say that she sent 12,961 texts in the 2 months combined together. It's a lot of text messages. Yeah. So in this problem, the first thing we've got to do is make sure we know what numbers we're working with. And then we've got to make sure we figure out February, because it tells us that the only thing we know is how many more times than she did in January. Okay? So look at number 2. I'm going to let you work it yourself, but look at number 2. Do we know our first number? Yes, 79,425. But look at the second number. This is what we call unit form. And it's all mixed up. So something that's going to help figure out your number is to write what it's saying underneath. So if we look at this right here, 4 tens, that means we have 10 4 times. So how many do we have? 15. No. 10 4 times is 40. Okay. When it says 600s, how many do we have? 600s would be what number? 600. 8,000s would be 8,000. And 5 ones would be 5. So it's almost like you're doing it in expanded form, but this form doesn't give you the zeros. So you have to be careful with the zeros. Okay? But do we know what our number is yet?
Yeah.
Not yet. What do we have to do now?
You have to put them in order.
Yeah, you can put them in order and then add them all together to figure out your number. Make sense? Okay? So you're going to do the second one and you're going to do the third one by yourself. Okay? Make sure this right here where it says justify your answer, this is where I want you to show me your work and show me what you did. All right? Make sense? Okay.